Let's get this done.
Chapter 2.
Oh, that would help. Actually turn on my headphones.
Chapter 2. Oh my, you found her much faster than I had expected. What's expected? Was this a victory for Rem?
Multi-view.
I had expected. Was this a victory? You found her much faster than I had expected. Was this a victory for Rem's dogged determination? Or perhaps a defeat for Beatrice's will to fight on? When they arrived, guided by Rem, at the mansion's entrance hall, a tall man who had already arrived turned to face them. He was a strange fellow, with long indigo hair, white makeup applied to his face, and eccentric clothing. This man, with his nonsensical air, was Roswell O'Mathers, both the master of this mansion and Beatrice's longtime acquaintance. As he gazed down at her cheerfully, Beatrice narrowed her eyes and snorted softly.
You must think quite highly of yourself to summon me like this, I suppose. You really shouldn't be giving such cruel orders. You must think of your...
Okay, it's already.
Eyes and snorted softly.
You must think quite highly of yourself to summon me like this, I suppose. You really shouldn't be giving such cruel orders to your servants, you know.
Despite that,
This. Suppose. Suppose. You really shouldn't be giving such cruel orders to your servants, you know.
despite that, I expect that you would be more likely to appear if I had Rem's... Be more likely to appear if I had Rem search for you than if I had searched myself. Surely, if I had started searching the mansion high and low, you'd have been so entertained by it that you wouldn't have come out to see me, wouldn't you say?
Now that you mention it, that might be true, I suppose.
The sight of Roswell, who never lost his relaxed attitude, walking around the mansion, searching for her.
What's this?
Walking around the mansion, searching for her, would be a rare thing. Since it was Rem, she took pity on her and showed her face.
Okay.
She took pity on her and showed pity on her and showed her face. But she couldn't deny the possibility that if it had been Roswell, she'd have taken some time to enjoy it. You see, isn't it just like I said?
Having you stand there looking like you'd seen through everything isn't much fun. Fun. So is it still not... Isn't much fun. So is it still not time for the errand you called Betty for?
The errand itself should be called momentarily. Rem. After his pretentious reply, Roswell called to Rem, who was standing at his side. The girl lightly lifted up her own blue hair and placed a hand on her well-shaped ear. Yes, the senses Nisama is sharing are getting closer. It seems that they should be reaching the gate soon. Would it be all right for Rem to go and greet them? I'd be pleased if you would. I don't think there'll be a problem, but
Whatever.
do be careful. Nodding to Roswell's instruction and then bowing to Beatrice, Rem headed toward the entrance. and then bowing to Beatrice, Rem headed toward the entrance. When she opened the large doors and went outside, a cool evening breeze blew into the manor, and one could catch a glimpse of the mansion's front grounds and front gate on the other side of the door. Near the iron gate, a dragon carrot door. Near the iron gate.
Good, didn't click anything important, I don't think. Okay, no, I'm good. I do not understand how YouTube does junk. Sometimes it thinks I'm viewing my own stream, sometimes it does other things. It just does whatever it wants, I swear.
On the other side of the door. Near the iron gate, a dragon carrot door. Near the iron gate. The other side of the door. Near the iron gate, a dragon carriage raised a cloud of dust as it arrived. In the carriage's driver's seat, a girl identical to Rem, her elder twin sister, could be seen. The order of the sisters has returned as well. Wait.
The
could be seen.
The order of the sisters has returned as well. I'd like to see...
What on earth? Why did that go so loud? Okay, good, I can just...
as well. I'd like to see Buddy I'd like to see Bub... I'd like to... as well. I'd like to see Bubby soon, you know.
With the return...
I don't know how these little things get through, and I don't know why... Well, I know how they get through. I don't know why they don't seem to be audible still. It's kind of weird.
With the return of her own family, Beatrice's
I
expression
don't know if I should
softened.
be erasing them or not.
The best outcome here would be for this to be simple and softened. The best outcome here would be for this to be simple. Would be for this to be for this to be simply rejoicing together at meeting again. But there was both the thoughts that were sent to her earlier and Roswell's summons. There was no way it would end that easily. The return of your dear older brother. But I'm a little jealous. You and I are old acquaintances too, but you never made that face for me.
I shouldn't say so. You shouldn't say so.
You never made that face for me. You never made that face.
Okay.
Never made that face for me.
You shouldn't say such creepy things, I suppose. And you're being far too obvious, you know. You aren't interested in Betty or anyone else, I suppose. There's only ever been one person on your mind, you know.
Well, you're not wrong about that. But that doesn't mean that it's a lie to say that I feel... Lie to say that I feel like I'd get a... It's a lie to say that I feel...
Stop doing that. Why does there have to be a Windows key?
Lie to say that I feel... Lie to say... Lie to say that I feel... Say that I feel...
How's this gonna sound?
Lie to say that I feel like I'd get...
No, I should just cut it here. Tempo is probably gonna be a little
That
bit...
doesn't mean that it's a lie to say that I feel like I'd get along well with you.
I wonder if I can make this slightly slower. -2?
It's a lie to say that I feel like I'd get along well with you.
A little better.
Although, this matter is separate from that.
I can't feel anything but worried about that, I suppose. Worried about that, I suppose.
Why did I...
Feel anything but worried about that, I suppose. Worried about that, I suppose.
They look the same.
I can't feel anything but worried about that, I suppose.
Simultaneously, Beatrice's face tightened at Russell's words, and Ren met up with her older sister, Ram, in front of the gate. After the sisters had spoken together about something, they immediately moved to the carriage, and the silver-haired girl descended from it. To Beatrice, it was someone who put her in a complicated state of mind. But this time, there was someone who drew her attention more than the silver-haired girl.
It seems there was some sort of blackened, dingy-looking fellow riding with her, you know.
I'm not sure if I would say riding or being carried along. I'm sure you
It's getting diminished.
say right.
That should be enough.
Being carried along. I'm sure you realized it. That's not the reason that I called for you.
Let's remove 4 more. Just do -12.
Or being carried along. I'm sure you realized it. That's not the reason that I called for you.
What's that?
You.
Okay, that's what that is.
That's not the reason that I called
Kinda
for
thought
you.
that's what that was.
You can't be serious, I suppose.
Realizing that her worries had been right on target,
Okay, that's...
Beatrice furrowed her brow and waited for the girls to...
Okay, what on earth? I guess somebody was only here for a little bit, right? Why did that reset the average view duration, despite the fact that... I mean, I know it was wrong to begin with. I don't understand YouTube. It's stinking jank.
and waited for the girls to arrive. The boy being lowered from the carriage was unconscious, and the maid sisters were each lifting one end of his body, which swayed back and forth as they tried to move him.
So I'm assuming that is...
Tried to move him.
Okay, there we go.
I wish you'd carry...
Okay, where's the...
Oh, wait. That boy really helped me out.
Oh, wow, my Amelia voice is better than I thought it was.
Swayed back and forth as they tried to move him.
I think I can go back to the normal book. I want to finish the Brazilla thing, but I think I can go back to the normal book. My voice actually sounds pretty fine. It sounds fine. It's a little off, but it's not as bad as it was when I tried recording before. I think yeah.
Swayed back and forth as they tried to move him.
Oh, I left the cough. That's, it's not supposed to be there.
Swayed back and forth as they tried to move him. That boy really helped me out, so... I wish you'd carry him... I wish you'd carry him a little more gently. Are you listening? Out, so... I wish you'd carry him a little more gently.
Actually, isn't there a story about, I'll do that in the future. Isn't there a story about, Ram in the city while Amelia's looking for the penance? I think there is. I gotta find that story. That's probably the one I read next. Maybe I'll do a short stream and read it. I think that's the play.
I wish you'd carry him a little more gently. Are you listening? That looks really painful, doesn't it? Near the boy who was being carried, the silver-haired girl ran about, flustered and looking concerned. Neither her shoulder nor her silver hair showed any signs of the little shadow that Beatrice was seeking.
Okay.
That Beatrice was seeking. Beatrice was seeking.
I guess I goes no.
The little shadow that Beatrice was seeking.
It seems I've drawn the short end of the stick, you know.
Beatrice's sigh reeked of age, completely at odds with her childlike appearance.
Okay, that one's audible. That's why I just removed these in general. What is that? Should probably shorten this gap.
At odds with her,
Still probably too big. I'll have to see.
completely at odds with her childlike appearance. Chapter 3.
I might reread this.
Chapter
I forgot.
Chapter 3. Chapter 3.
It's a bit loud.
Chapter 3. Chapter 3.
Man, that came out really clear. I need to just put my mic closer to my face, don't I? Or get better just speaking into it. I don't know. Honestly, I don't even really have to... I don't even think I have to do the thing for that. Or at least I think I can get away with not doing it. Yeah. I'm not gonna bother. Should I probably bother? Maybe. It's
odds
fine.
with her childlike appearance.
Probably should, but I'm not going to because I don't care that much.
Chapter 3. It seemed that the boy who...
This is like weird. It almost feels wrong still.
Chapter 3. It seemed that the...
It's a better tone than before, but it's still a little weird. Let's just do it.
Chapter 3. It seemed that the boy...
Huh. Let's actually cut this then. Not that much.
with her childlike appearance. Chapter 3.
Well, now it's too loud.
It seemed that the...
It's actually...
Chapter 3.
Maybe that's why it's a little off.
It seemed that the...
That'll work.
It seemed that the boy who had been carried in had made critical efforts in overcoming a problem that occurred for the silver-haired girl, Amelia, during her journey in the capital. Amelia, during her journey...
Actually, that's fine because I just do that.
Amelia, during her journey in the capital. From what was said, after Amelia carelessly had her precious emblem stolen, not only had he tenaciously determined its whereabouts in her stead, and struggled to do this and that to return it to Amelia, but he had gone on to risk his own life to protect Amelia's.
This is
Life to protect Amelia's.
this is much too suspicious, I suppose.
Now it seems a bit too close.
To protect Amelia's.
This is
That's
much too
better.
suspicious, I suppose. There's no doubt that someone like that is a spy or something, you know. It'd be best to make a clean break of things here and let him die naturally. It'd be best to make a
Why does... I don't know why that happens.
be best to make a clean. There's no doubt that someone like that is. There's no doubt that someone like that is a.
That sounds fine. It's just that one sounded off.
Be best to make a clean break of things here and let him die naturally. Be best to naturally, I suppose.
Well, it is certain.
I suppose.
Well, it is certainly true that it is far too convenient.
Well, it is.
Yeah, that's,
I suppose. Well, it is certainly true that it is far too convenient. Well, it is certainly. Well, it is certainly true that it is far too convenient. What would you have us do, Amelia-sama? Shall we let him die? Why are you saying such cruel things? Please, help him. Let him.
let's actually amplify this by, like, not 32. And then I do want to change the pitch up by 1.
Why are you saying such cruel things? Please, help him.
Okay, that actually sounds bad, but I stick with the pitch.
Shall we let him die? Why are you saying such cruel things? Please, help him. Why are you saying such cruel things? Please, help him. Please help him.
Yeah, that tracks a bit better.
Saying such cruel things. Please help him.
Flustered, but
Why are you saying such cruel things? Please help him.
There's kind of a weird tonal shift there. Okay, that's fine. Just do this.
Saying such cruel things. Please help him.
I'll leave more of a gap.
Why are you saying such cruel things? Please help him.
Yeah, it's a little weird. I'm just gonna leave it.
Please help him.
flustered by the cold flustered by the
Things. Please help him.
flustered by the cold suggestion offered by Beatrice, who'd listened to the explanation, and Ram, who'd given the explanation.
Okay, this can probably just be -8.
And Ram, who'd given the explanation. Amelia requested healing for the boy. The unconscious boy had a fairly serious wound in his abdomen. Currently, the wound had only been closed by simply closed by simply healing magic, and even if it was only left as it was now, it could be expected to recover if you rested quietly.
Ironically, I think it was fine.
To be sure, this was speaking of only if he did absolutely nothing but rest in bed. and she got the feeling that this boy, left on his own, definitely would not remain in bed.
There is little choice, so I'll heal him, but... so I'll heal...
Okay, that sounds jank. Let's just... I really need to stop adjusting all of this.
There is little choice, so I'll heal him, but...
That actually sounds...
This is something that
better, so.
This is something that I normally absolutely would. This is something that I normally.
Okay.
This is something that I normally. But this is something that I normally absolutely. This is something.
Actually think...
This is something that I.
That sounds better than this.
This is something that I normally.
No.
That I norm. Thing that I norm. This is something that I norm. This is something that I. Thing that I normally. Something that I normally.
Let's try.
Something that I normally.
Fine, I'll try to do it here.
This is something that I normally.
I'm just gonna have to do... Stop. Stop it. What on earth? I guess I was barely hitting my control key.
Thing that I normally.
Still sounds off. Maybe I can get it sounding...
Thing that I normally.
That's even worse. I don't think I can easily remove this.
That I normally.
No, probably can't. Actually, I can probably do... Shoot, I haven't done this in a while. Where is it?
Thing that I normally. Thing that I normally absolutely wouldn't do.
I still love doing that.
This is something that I normally absolutely wouldn't do.
Still a bit weird sounding, but it's not a cut, and that's good. There are some really weird tricks you can use to get around that stuff. I love it.
Do. I'm doing you a favor, so tomorrow I'll have you let me take Bubby all day, I suppose. Very well. If that's what you'd like, I'll make sure to speak to Puck about it. Thank you, Beatrice. I'm indebted to you. I'll make sure to speak to Puck about it. Thank you, Beatrice. I'm indebted to you. That's an old-fashioned way of putting it, you know. Huh? Setting aside Amelia as she expressed surprise. Amelia as she expressed surprise. Beatrice set right to healing the boy and getting it over with. Before the immense power of Beatrice, the maintainer of the Forbidden Library, it was a trivial task. Despite that, she demanded a proper reward, so the terms weren't bad for her. It'd be troublesome if the relationship developed into one where she was called upon casually. Beatrice was no one's errand girl. Beatrice's role was the librarian of the Forbidden Library, nothing more and nothing less. From that point, she would never budge. There now. I filled him up, I suppose. Take care of the rest.
Wait, what? I what?
I filled him up. I've healed him up.
I've healed him up. Oh my goodness, I just said it kind of weird. It's fine.
Pose. Take care of the rest as you please, you know. Do not... No. Do make sure not to let him push himself. Take care of the rest as you please, you know. Do not... No. Do make sure not to let him push himself.
If only. Subaru's an idiot.
Please, you know. Do make sure not to...
I'm just gonna have to do it like this.
You know. Do make sure...
Did I? I did not, did I? Drat. Oh, no, I did? No, I didn't. What's the... Oh, yeah, this is the... Great. I'm gonna have to find where I... Is this it? This is probably it.
Chapter 3.
Yes, it is. Rad.
As you please, you know. Do make sure not to let him push himself, I suppose. Thank you, Beatrice. I'm in debt. I'm most grateful. That's old-fashioned talk, too, you know. As Amelia smiled openly, Beatrice pointed out the expression she'd used.
Did they ever say a date from when Amelia had been frozen? I don't think they ever did. I wonder if they ever will. If they haven't, they probably have somewhere. I can't remember what they said in the anime though, and they haven't. The only way to get that info in the light novels is to read other stories, which I find kind of weird actually. It probably should be a special episode, or not episode, book. Special book. I don't even know, man.
Beatrice pointed out the expression she'd used and turned her back. Such a straightforward gaze was difficult for her to deal with. Beatrice lacked the will to tell Amelia that directly. Chapter 4.
Oh, well, let's actually space that out a little more. Make it more consistent.
Amelia that directly. Chapter 4. With the boy's healing taken care of,
Huh.
Beatrice retired quickly to the forbidden library. Most likely, the boy would wake up sometime in the morning, although his body had...
What was that?
Sometime in the morning, although...
That's getting muted.
Time in the morning.
Actually, that's just getting...
In the morning. Although his body had been restored, it would take
That's not even breathing.
time in the morning. Although his body had been restored, it would take time for his stamina and such to recover after being so exhausted. Having said that, Beatrice's healing magic was even capable of producing results and restoring said stamina. Results and restoring
That's convenient.
and restoring said stamina and the like, so it was unlikely that any significant problems would remain. It seems that those girls have returned to their room as well. With that,
What am I... Okay, I'm at 26.
we should be able to get back to a peaceful night.
Oh, that refreshed
Seeing
it.
herself, it seems that those girls have returned to their room as well. With problems would remain. It seems that those girls have returned to their room as well. With that, we should be able to get back to a peaceful night. Seeing herself on a stepladder in the center of the room, she sighed as she brushed her knees. The Forbidden Library
Oh, that's
was
nice.
essentially safe from the influence of the outside world,
Wait, was that there before?
but Beatrice's perception was wide-ranging, and it was
perception was wide-ranging, and it was in ranging, and it was that indeed. And it was in
Okay. Ugh.
perception was wide-ranging, and it was that indeed that allowed her to grasp what was going on inside the mansion. In the end, the serenity that Beatrice truly loved would only come when all the residents of the mansion were sound asleep. However, there had been a few too many fusses tonight.
Okay.
Too many fusses tonight. Somehow, she couldn't even work up the urge to reread the book she was carrying. However, there had been a few too many fusses tonight. Somehow, she couldn't even work up the urge to reread the book she was carrying.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna.
However, there had been a few too many fusses tonight. Somehow, however, there had been a few too many fusses tonight. Somehow, she couldn't even work up the urge to reread the book she was carrying. It was such a nice night, and look what's become of it, you know. Bubby is out of mana and resting, and I can't see him until morning. What a day, I suppose. What a day, I suppose. If it was going to see him until morning. What a day, I suppose. If it was going to turn out like this, why did Betty...
That is really loud. Where is that? Is it not this?
was going to turn out like this, why did Betty...
I mean, I guess that helped.
Just as the day was reluctantly drawing to a close, Beatrice hummed softly to herself, the tail end of it. Just as was stated earlier, Beatrice knew what was going on inside the mansion like the back of her hand. Something was nagging at her perception. It was... that injured boy's room. He's woken up, I suppose. He's woken up. Woken up, I suppose. He's woken up, I suppose. That injured boy's room. He's woken up, I suppose. Boy's room. He's woken up, I suppose. Paying special attention to his situation, just in case the sudden changes yielded results. Sensing the special attention to his situation, just in case the sudden changes yielded results. Sensing the boy get off his bed, boy get up off his bed. Sensing the boy get off his bed, boy get off his bed. Sensing the boy get up, sudden changes yielded results. Sensing the boy get up off his bed and move around, Beatrice pursed her lips. It was quick, was her first thought. Of course, her healing had been perfect, was her first thought. Of course, her healing had been perfect. She was confident that she'd restored the boy completely, without so much as a scar. Of course, her healing had been perfect. She was confident that she'd restored the boy completely, without so much as a scar. She was confident, but he had gotten used to the healing magic oddly quickly. For this to be possible, either there was something peculiar about the nature of his
I'll lower it by a little.
Either there was something peculiar about the nature of his body, or he had good compatibility with Beatrice's magic. Ew. What a revolting thing to imagine, you know. Repulsed by what she thought of by herself, Beatrice felt like she was nauseous in her chest. In the same moment, a plot sprouted in her heart to use this boy to clear up the nausea. Now that it's decided, I'll just play with him a little bit, I suppose. While still seated on the stepladder, Beatrice fully mobilized the power of her own shadow magic. She remade the space of one floor of the mansion, a corner of it that included the guest room that the boy was in. Originating from the guest room he was in, she connected the space of the end of the hallway to the other end, forming an endless corridor. An illusion made it impossible to see where the corridors met, and she chose a perpetual darkness from the outside of the windows, with no sign of light. With this, she'd completed the trap, with no way to tell which way to go, and no way out. The boy would be psychologically cornered. On top of that, any door except the correct door. The door to the first room will have a special gift. The door to the first... The correct door. The door to the...
I don't know why there's such...
Except the correct door. The door to the first room will have a... Door. The door to the first room will have a special gimmick, you know. Your body will forget about gravity. Your consciousness and awareness of reality will be exactly opposite, and there will even be upside-down rooms, I suppose. It felt like she might have gone a bit overboard with her control and alteration. With her control and alteration of her territory, but she was satisfied with the result. Incidentally, this prank used many different shadow magic spells that had been lost. Many different shadow magic spells that had been lost to time, and some researchers into magic would faint if they saw it misused this way, but Beatrice wasn't concerned about that. Now do a grand dance. Wasn't concerned about that. Now do a grand dance in the palm of Betty's hand, you know. Now do a grand dance in the palm... Wasn't concerned about that. Now do a grand dance in the palm of Betty's hand, you know. This, that... Now do a grand dance in the palm, you know. This, that, all of it. That, and all of it was solely for the purpose. That, all of it. That, and all of it was solely... This, that, and all of it was... This, that, and all of it was solely for the purpose of seeing the boy running about frantically, snot dribbling from his nose. She was simply letting off steam after being unable to meet with her brother. His nose. She was simply letting off steam after being unable to meet with her brother. So although he had saved someone's life, he could at least entertain her for a little. Or perhaps the possibility that the first door is the goal, as it tends to be. The Forbidden Library's door opened with a click, and a foolish face peered inside. Or perhaps the possibility that the first door is the goal, as it... Forbidden Library's door opened with a click. Forbidden Library's door opened with a click, and a foolish face peered inside. The Forbidden Library's door opened with a click, and a foolish face peered inside.
Okay, this is the one I actually want to keep.
Or perhaps the possibility... for a little... Or perhaps the possibility...
Not what I want to do.
Or perhaps the possibility that the first door... Or perhaps the possibility that the first door is the goal, as it tends to be. For a little... Or perhaps the possibility that the first door is the goal, as it tends to be.
Does this almost feel too quiet?
Or perhaps the possibility that the first door is the goal, as it tends to be. Or perhaps it tends to be. Forbidden Library's door opened with a click, and a foolish face peered inside. It's not judgment, an instant choice, an immediate,
I want to see how this.
as it tends to be. The Forbidden Library's door opened with a click, and a foolish face peered inside. It's not judgment, an instant, foolish face peered inside.
I like this one better. Really? Thank you.
As it tends to be. The Forbidden Library's door opened with a click, and a foolish face peered inside. It's not judgment, an instant choice,
I forget how long it takes to edit these.
judgment, an instant choice, an immediate breakthrough. Feeling a sense of wasted effort that wasn't suitable compensation for the amount of work she'd expended, Beatrice put on her sourest face. What a proud face. What a profoundly aggravating man you are. On her sourest face. What a profoundly aggravating man you are, I suppose. And so, for the first time, she tasted a sensation that would repeat time and time again in the days to come. It was the beginning of the end of the quiet days she spent in the Forbidden Library.
I really like this.
Yeah. Library. Yeah, I'm just using this as a bit of a holdover for now. As I said at the beginning, my voice is still a little bit off.
51? 1. Yeah. Word from the reader.
Chapter 4.
And this goes 16? 16.
Chapter 3. Chapter 3.
There we go.
I'm just using this as a bit of a holdover for now. As I said at the beginning.
I'm gonna stop for there for now. I finished up this took longer than I thought it would. I forget how long it takes to do these sometimes. I'm gonna actually leave this live stream listed. Sure. Thank you for watching if you did. Like if you like, whatever. There's no way somebody's not subscribed and watching this. I refuse to believe it. It just doesn't make sense. This is unless you're using this background, I guess. I don't know. Thank you for watching. And I'm gonna go. This is gonna be up on like Thursday morning. Tomorrow morning. Peace. Bye.